still the conversation on Lagos television, and of course, we know this is the second segment where we discuss anything and everything that concerns Lagos. Today, our discussion is a big concern in our communities, of course, here in Lagos. It bothers on crime reduction strategies and youth involvement. In a society where we have majorly the youth, and they are often tagged as either victims or perpetrators of crime, the question now is, can this youth, can this set of youth or groups now turn the narrative, change the story to be key drivers of peace, security, and of course, positive transformation? Joining us today is Kazeem Tolani Awi. Not Awe, Awe. Is a committed youth voice and member of the Lagos Youth Parliament representing Kosofe Constituency 2. He's actively involved in advocacy, community engagement, and youth leadership. Together, we'll have this conversation and, of course, explore practical strategies for reducing crime and, of course, how young people can lead the charge for a safer society. You're welcome.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone.
It's still morning.
Still morning.
It's still morning.
Okay.
Good morning. Good morning, Ma.
Glad
Good
to have
morning,
you here.
everyone. My name is Kazeem Tolani. Yeah. Should I go ahead with the questions?
No. Let's start with the basic, of course. I'd like you to talk about the crime, rate amongst youth first in Lagos.
The rate among youths in Lagos is alarming. It is alarming in the sense that
You have to speak up. You have to speak up.
Okay. Okay. The rate of crime in Lagos State is alarming within the youth, in the sense that is it because these people are unemployed? Is it that they are jobless? Is that why they are going into crimes that even affect their own life? Aside the fact that it's affecting the country at large, is also affecting their own personal life, their health, in sense of what? Taking hard drugs that damage their intestine. So these things are not making things work well in our community and all of that.
Okay. Let's look at the truth is times are hard.
Yeah.
And life is hard.
Yes.
But that's still not enough reason to put your hands into evil. So let's look at some of the challenges that are pressuring young people into, getting themselves involved in these social vices.
These social vices. Okay, let me say one of the challenges that youth faces nowadays. I can categorically say that from age of 34 to 45 are not working class. Like, they are not employed. They are jobless. And we youth, we are energetic. We have this energy. But at times the youth need people to motivate them, to encourage them to do something. At times we do not know what we are capable of as a youth. We do not know what we are capable of. You might think that you might have this mindset that can I do this? Am I capable of doing this? But if we see someone that channel our energy, that you can do it, go for it, then we channel energy, and at the end of the day, it's youth success.
Okay. You said youth are energetic, youth are vibrant. From my own observation, I would say that today's youth are more productive.
Yes, and creative.
And creative, yes, that's the word. They are more productive, they are more creative. During our own days, we didn't have so much opportunities like you have now. And don't you think they don't have to wait to be gainfully employed. I'm always talking about employment because I see a lot of people refer to employment as being
the problem.
Yes, as being the problem.
The key problem.
Yes, but we've seen youth today who have, taken the bull by the horn themselves, and they're churning out positive results. Why will this unemployment, thing continue to be a problem or a challenge for youth when we still see like a larger percentage of them doing very well on their own when it comes to making revenue?
All right, that's a good question, ma. One of the biggest problem for those youths, one, their background, two, the environment they reside in. Some people, environment affects them, and people that they grow with affects them too, because at times they believe that Shola is the last born. Let us take care of him very well. Let's give him everything that he wants. And life change, things change. Life is not constant. What they are gaining today freely, without putting energy, without putting effort, tomorrow they might not be able to get it, and they might just invest themselves only in academics. And I'm telling you that in the next 10 years to come, the whole world will be investing in skill acquisition. Skill acquisition is going to be something that people will always want to look up to. That what do you have to offer? What can you offer me? What can you offer? If you do not have anything, then what are you bringing to the table? What affects us is that we feel like academics, that's how we can excel in life. And some people focus on that 24/7 academics, neglecting the fact that skill is something that they can also invest in. Even skill doesn't mean art skill. We have soft skill and art skills. For example, I'm a fashion designer, and I'm also a student at Lagos State University. Also a member of the Youth Parliament, representing Kosofe at Lagos State. I know how I maximize my time, do things. I went to school, I have lectures. I'm also the Faculty of Arts president. I manage my time because I have this determination, I have this goal that I want to do this, I want to do that. How can I combine these things together to make it a successful, to make it a successful one?
I really like the fact when you started answering the question and saying that one of the issues are looking at the background where a person grows up, the family he comes from. And this will lead me to my next question. How important are the roles of the community leaders, the traditional rulers, and even our religious leaders, in impacting the right values in our youth today, especially when we are talking about crime reduction? Because everyone comes from a locality. Everyone comes from a community. So how important is the role of these leaders? Have they neglected their duties?
That's a big question. That's a big one. But to be sincere and to be candid here, these religious leaders and traditional rulers, religious leaders, they are all doing their own part. It depends on the youth. It's we youths at times, when we have zeal for something, and we over pursue that thing, it might later yield to another thing that we are not expecting. So these people, there is a limit to what they can do. There's a limit to the way they can talk to other people's child. And nowadays some adults, you cannot just talk to them anyhow. They feel big. Are you the one feeding me? Well, why will you just come to me and tell me that what I'm doing is wrong? And these community leaders, religious leaders, I think there is a need for a cultural orientation. A cultural orientation for youth. It can be once in a while, maybe once in a year. You can just come together, tell us about how the thing evolve. Like, how it comes, how we started it, and so that we can just have a background of how it started. Even when you want to convince me to do something, at times religious aspect is a very key role that makes youth be inclined Yes. At times you might just go to church, you might go to mosques and connect, meet people that will impact your life in a positive way.
Okay. Okay, you know, the Lagos State government has come up with some interventions, you know, to help the youth in Lagos. The Lagos Neighborhood Watch is one of them. There's another initiative, you know, that helps with skills for Lagos youth. How much of these initiatives has, you know, helped, you know, the should I call them the Nigerian youth? They don't have to be Lagosians. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. How much of these interventions has helped the Nigerian youth in, you know, reducing crime?
Yes, it has helped a lot. Yes, it has helped a lot in some ways that, you know, there are some youth that they really want to do, they want to go into some skills, but they are not capable of, you know, they are not capable of going into it by themselves. But with these initiatives, most people who are serious, who really know what they want, they seize the opportunity to go into it, and they are doing well.
Okay, do you think these initiatives are enough, or do you think government?
Yeah, they are enough,
okay,
but they can do more. They can do more better.
Okay, you are a youth, and you know, in your own, you know, community, how much of these initiatives, or how much of your own community have access to these initiatives by the government?
Yes, they have.
Are they aware?
They are aware.
One thing is to be aware.
Yes,
and one thing is to have access.
Yes,
and be a beneficiary.
yes. You know, they are aware in the sense that my local government chairman,
Okay.
Princess Samia Tabanalibada,
Okay.
she's someone that, you know, she does a lot for the community, and she makes sure that everything that comes from the governor, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, I want to seize this opportunity to wish him happy birthday on behalf of the Lagos State Youth Parliament.
Okay.
So you want to say a big happy birthday to him, long life and prosperity. So, you know, these people, the local government chairman, they dispenses a lot of things from from state to local government to the, you know, to the community. So these people, they have opportunities. It depends on them. How do you want to minimize it? How do you want to make good use of this opportunity that you have?
Okay, as a youth, I'm asking you now, from your experience, from news you've heard about crime, you know, in some communities, especially, you know, there are two communities in Lagos that are prone to this youth unrestiveness, which is Moshi and Ikorodu. From your own experience, what do you think, you know, is the problem, and what do you think can be done?
The problem, because these two axes you've mentioned, is actually a very, very tough community. You know, I think the problem is, should I say, inheritance, or like it's something that they have been.
It's passed on from generation to generation.
Yes.
In these axes.
Yes, and you know, to curb it is kind of very, very difficult, because people who can even curb it are the main, you know, main tools. Are the one channeling it. So how do you want to come to me as the pioneer of something? How do you want to come and meet? And I have a lot of guys, a lot of girls that, you know, I control, and I'm their boss. So how do you expect me to talk to them like, okay, we are not doing this again? You know, it will keep evolving, like it will keep moving forward and, you know, escalating.
Because we're talking about crime reduction and strategies and the youth involvement. That's why I'm challenging you as a youth now. What can you do, you know, how can you get involved, you know, to ensure that this crime, you know, begin to see a decline?
As a youth, from my own perspective, from my own view.
Do you think if there is employment for everybody,
crime will
reduce?
No.
Because when you start making I just need to say that excuses. Yes.
It's just an excuse for you. That doesn't mean if everyone has a job, that doesn't still mean crime will not still be. No, but all these things is is a lot for you. It's a lot.
Like you said, did you want to say something?
No.
Okay. So even if there is job for everyone, there will still be crime, right? According to what you have said. But again now, so how can young people now actively take their roles in the fight against crime? Even though we know that the reality is that there are no jobs. But that's still not enough reason to dip your hands into evil. So what are the steps that young people can take today, considering, the 10 years ago, 20 years ago, life, times and seasons have changed. So looking at our present day, what are the practical steps that a young person can take to actively stay away from crime?
Things that youth now can be involved in practically, that will something engaging that to divert your attention away from crime. Even you are the one that will even be advocating for it, that no, don't involve in this, don't involve in this. It is basically if this kind of youth have something substantial that he or she is doing.
Like what?
Like I've been mentioning since, skill acquisition. I have some people that they will be in their room 24/7 on their system, coding, doing something great. Sitting in my room 24/7, busy working. How do I even want to know what is going on out there? That's
an idle man is the devil's workshop. That's it.
No, don't get me wrong.
No, that's
okay.
what you're saying.
Okay. So that's it. So he's doing something great. He's doing something that is giving him money. Something that one thing again is that we need to invest our life in something that if we are doing it, we are going to enjoy what we are doing. For example, anytime I'm sewing, I always feel good. I feel excited because it is what I love doing. So if we invest our life in skill acquisition, either soft skill or hard skill, it's going to reduce a lot of crime.
Getting involved in something productive.
Okay, yes. We've been talking about crime amongst youth, and why youth are usually prone to crime in the society. I'd like you to identify, these crimes that the Nigerian youth or Lagosians or youth in Lagos are usually exposed to. What are the different vices, this crime that we've been talking about?
For example,
exposed to.
Okay, drug abuse.
Okay.
Raping, and so on and so forth.
What about cultism, kidnapping, and all of that?
Yes.
Okay. And again, I'm going to challenge you. As a member of the Youth Parliament, have you had discussions about this? Are you having discussions about it? And what have you arrived at?
Okay. As a member of Lagos State Parliament, we have been advocating time to time for the youth of Lagos State in order to have something great that they're doing. For example, last year we hosted an event. There's this committee on waste and waste management committee. We go to each local districts, senatorial districts, to tutor them on waste management, how you can turn waste to wealth. And we are consistent about it. We go to East today, we go to West tomorrow, to advocate for progress. So this is what we have been doing, times without number. A lot of things. We had a program last year on health summit, where we invite commissioner for police, commissioner for youth and social development, where we need to advocate, where we have a meeting that, okay, how can we reduce crime? As a police officer, how can we, what steps can we take to reduce all these things? So we have been working as members of Lagos State Youth Parliament. We have been working, to reduce crime from our own end.
Okay, and since you've been working, what positive changes have you experienced or seen so far?
Okay, the positive changes I've experienced was because was that while advocating for this, we see some of our some youths that they see what we are doing and they were like, wow, this is my colleague, this is my age mate. This person cannot be even older than I do. So why can't I invest myself into what this person is doing? They change their mindset by saying something practical that people are doing that we could. They feel like for this person to be in this kind of position, that means he has been consistent and doing great. So this thing has changed most people's mindset towards being being a positive way.
Okay, while we were having a conversation before I came back on air, she asked you what committee you're chairing at the parliament, and you said you're the vice chairman for entertainment, and so that's where my question is coming.
Okay, okay.
So now, the creative industry is
Yes.
one that has become a theme in Nigeria and even outside Nigeria. How do you see our music and the contents that are out there, entertainment content out there, whether it's drama or skits or whatever, those contents out there, how do you see them engaging the young people, taking their minds off crime?
Okay, that's a lovely question. You know, firstly, the entertainment world is something we need, and it's a nice one to the youth at large, but it depends on how you, okay, it affects positively and negatively, but as a youth it depends on how you make use of that entertainment. It can be in a positive way and negative way. For example, if I go online and I see some videos and it's not kind of, you know, sit well with me, or just, you know, there's nothing I want to do with it. But some people mindset are different. Some people will see it and stick to it and even practice it. So entertainment is something that we cannot do without, but it depends on how you make good use of it. You either use it to be part of you, or you either use it to do something that is not good enough.
Okay, so what advice do you have now for these influencers? I use influencers, even including the music artists, the influencers that we have, the movie artists, because a lot of young people look up to them and look up to the kind of content they dish out. So what message do you have for them to ensure that whatever they are putting out there, whatever they are feeding us with, are contents that are positive, are contents that will take off the minds of young people from crime?
Yes, like you've said it all. You know, these artists, like you said, these artists, they need to dish something that, you know, when the youth out there see when the youth sees it, it's kind of impactful. When I listen to song, the song must be something that, yes, I will pick one or two from it. Not that listen to music and, you know, it's not even like, you know, they should try it and, you know, give us something great, even if it is content that will, you know, impact life at large. Not even only youth, everybody that sees it must see it and feel like, wow, this is amazing, something encouraging, something motivative, and all of that. Thank you.
Okay, as we've heard today, crime is not just a security issue, it's a youth empowerment and societal values issue. Thank you once again, Kazeem, Tolani, Awe, for your insights and passion. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, the conversation continues.
Let the conversation continue.